And you're working on a memoir as well.
Yes.
How is that different from writing fiction? How are you finding that?
It's proving to be extremely difficult because I think when you start out as a writer and people ask you if your work's autobiographical, you say no because you don't think it is. And that, the older you get, the more you realise that everything is autobiographical. So I've in fact taken lots of, not characters specifically, but things and fictionalised them or places. So I've actually used quite a lot of my material is absorbed into the fiction. So I don't want to rewrite myself. So it is extremely difficult. And also, it takes you back down memory lane, so you're confronted all the time with memories. So it's psychologically, it's very difficult, and as well as physically.
Is it easier or harder, easy or harder to work with sort of real things that have happened, or do you prefer to simply invent them from air?
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, yes, lots of things one does completely invent from air, and some things you don't. So I don't know. It's both harder and easier. I mean, but you tend to get lost in memories and thinking about things. And I'm not one of these writers who believes that a person, just because he or she is a writer, is entitled to take any material from the family, which could be somebody else's story, and just write it down and say, well, tough, I'm a writer. You know, a lot of writers have this attitude, and there's that famous quotation about when a writer is born into a family, it's the end of that family. So, but I've heard Colm Tóibín defending that recently, and all sorts of people, they just say, well, tough. You know, I'm a writer, I have a right to cannibalise your story or your life. And, you know, I think if there are things that people would rather you didn't write about, you have to be very careful. You don't have a divine right.